Welcome to Raise It Up with me, Danny Kagan, entrepreneur, mom of two, and your host. This is a place for real, unfiltered conversations about growth with ambitious women, mothers, and entrepreneurs who are building businesses while raising families. Together, we're redefining what peak performance looks like and reshaping modern motherhood. From parenting and personal growth to business and beyond, let's dive in with practical insights, empowering takeaways, and inspiring conversations. I'm excited that you're here. Let's go. If you're an entrepreneur, you know how hard it is to find real marketing support. I want to share the Concept Agency with you. They built my website and my Maven Shea website, my brand, and we've loved working with them. They are true marketing partners who actually support your growth, not just your to-do list. Check it out in the show notes, the Concept Agency. Welcome to the podcast. This is a very, very special episode because it's my first live.
I heard it's your first in person, which is way more intimate than a Zoom call because we all do too many Zoom calls. It's hard for us to watch another Zoom call, but
right?
This is very real.
And this is very special because we're in Vancouver together at the same time.
Yeah, we just did an amazing brunch together, and Tanny and I both just had babies that are 3 weeks apart, and so we said, look, if we're away for the babies for one day, we better get this all done now.
We're getting it done now. We're maximizing. Yeah. Michelle was like, we're doing it now, and I was like, you're right, we're doing this now.
No better time than
the present
moment. Exactly.
Yes. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
This is so cool because I feel like so many people are itching to know A, about mom life, B, about this new chapter, and C, where you're headed next, what's going on, and also just the advice you give to entrepreneurs and women and business owners generally is gold. And I want to give that to all of my listeners today.
Amazing.
So let's go.
Okay.
So I asked you this earlier today, and I want to dive in a little bit deeper. And I feel like it's a really helpful conversation to start with, which is, what are some of those difficulties that you had starting out versus difficulties now at the top?
So the real honest answer, and the one that no one wants to hear, is there's just as many challenges at the start as there are when you're a $100 million company or really big. They're just very different. And so instead of thinking about do the challenges go away, which I mentally told myself all the time to keep going, I was like, just get here, we'll get better, just get here. I think you have to embrace and lean into liking the challenge. Because at the beginning, you're just you just need a product to work. You just need product market fit. You just need a little bit of revenue there. It'll get better. They're our first employee. It'll get better. Then you have 100 employees and they're all fighting with each other. It's just and then, at $100 million, it becomes very different because, at least in our business at Clearco, we had created a category. And then when we got big, it was we now had competitors competing with us and, driving margins down effectively, which happens in a lot of spaces. And so you have a very different set of challenges. And so instead of thinking about do the challenges get better or different, or does it get better, think about it I'm a person that loves challenges. I like being uncomfortable. If I had a life motto, it would be never be comfortable, because you only grow when you're a little bit uncomfortable. And so I think that's so much of what I've been thinking about now.
It's so great because I feel like I live in uncomfortable all the time, and it's you have to you have to take a second and take a step back and be this is good. This is a good thing. This is what leads to exponential growth.
Yeah. And
I think that's just a really good reminder for everyone.
And reminding yourself that it's only hard things that make you inevitably feel invincible. I still remember we had our first huge challenge in Bitopia. This was my startup in 2010. We were one of the first e-commerce companies. We had a merchant that was nearly going bankrupt, which was putting a lot of returns and pressure on us. Horrible situation. And I remember not sleeping for 4 weeks, waking up in cold sweats at 4 a.m. I was we're gonna lose our company, we're gonna lose our whole team, we're gonna lose everything. And
what a feeling.
And, we got to the other end of it, and I remember thinking, I was invincible. You quit? Great, I'll find someone else. You just take these regular business life to moment things, deal doesn't close, okay, we move on. All of those became so much easier because I was like, I just worked through what I thought was almost losing my whole company, almost having to declare personal bankruptcy. Like it was really bad at one point. And when you make it through that, you're like, I'll be fine. And then you're a great person to be around because you're way more chill. Way less like anxiety that's like wearing on everyone else.
It's like you almost need that moment, like that I am so deep in the depths and I am going to quit and this is all going to erupt. That like that when you make it on the other side,
of course,
you almost need that moment so that you can be like, life is okay. I'm going to live. I'm going to survive.
Yeah, for sure.
What are some of the things that you look for in great founders?
You know, I think that there's a couple of things. There's like, the first is that the trait I look for in founders is like that same level of like resilience and like can just every day get up, go in the boxing ring, get punched in the face, and then be like, I'm ready to go tomorrow with the same amount of enthusiasm.
But how do you know that when you just meet someone and they're like pitching to you?
Because you're like seeing how many struggles they've been through in their life personally. You're seeing how many iterations they brought through their company. Like almost no one is successful on their first idea. You have to like do lots of different ideas. I mean, like Clearco was like, we funded Uber drivers, we funded Airbnb hosts. We didn't even get to this e-commerce thing until like 2.5 years into the business. Like these take a really long time. To build. And that's true of like many of the largest companies. And so you want to see someone that's like had those struggles. I think people that have also had like struggles in their personal life and made it on the other side of that, like it's a lot to live through just some of the things that life throws you. And so when people can be really resilient, and then you just need someone who is like constantly on, constantly getting shit done, constantly like responsive, thinking about things, making fast decisions because like at the end of the day, like innovation comes from iteration. It comes from trying a lot of things. And so if you're like dwelling on the past, if you're not iterating fast enough, you'll never figure it out, right?
With that said, what are what's a moment for you, like personally, where like for you there was a moment where you can look back and be like, oh, this was like a moment where I realized like I'm actually like really cut out for this.
I think I just felt like joy in certain things that I was doing. And there was like these moments, you have to get really excited about breaking an old existing industry, right? So in yours, you're like, why hasn't there been orthopedic slippers? Like, how have we like just missed this entire category for whatever? And it could be anything. I remember we had a, early AI business that digitized a lot of couponing back in like 2013. We sold this company to Groupon in 2014. It was like early machine learning. It was pretty wild now thinking back on it. And I was just so excited because I'm like, this is so archaic. You know that coupons, like physical coupons, are counted in garbage bags and they're like shipped to this like place in the East Coast in like Newfoundland, and like some dude counts the coupons and does like a manual tally. I was like, this has to be broken. And so like obviously like that's not the most glamorous industry to be disrupting, but like the excitement of changing things over has to get you excited. I actually still remember we were like 2 years into Clearco and we were one of the first big companies that had done like a large amount of credit for founders without personal guarantees. And this is a big deal, right? Because if you take a loan with a personal guarantee, if the company doesn't pay it back, they literally go after your house and your life savings. Like it's extremely punitive.
It's very scary.
It should be really scary because it's like they have a lot of leverage over you. And so we said, look, we'll fund these businesses without personal guarantees. And I still remember the day that Amex launched their first credit card product that didn't have a personal guarantee. And I was like, we did this. Like we got a Fortune 50 company to copy us because we had introduced something else to the market. And that's like, there's lots of downfalls of capitalism, but one of the great parts is like people have to compete when you release something better. Like they have to respond. And so I think if you like that, it's really good. So I don't know, like you got to, back to your original question, you got to look for people that are really resilient, and then you got to look for really good business models in there.
I want to go back to the first thing you said when you answered this, which was you have to find joy.
Yeah.
And I really feel like a lot of people are just after the end goal.
Yeah.
But there is no end. right?
There is no end. There is no end.
Like, the end doesn't exist. Like, the limit does not exist.
Yeah.
And it's just such a great reminder for all of us to be like, you have to find the joy. And if it's not feeling joyful, like, it's okay. You have to just do something else because you have one life, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I want to talk about the fact that you just became a mom.
Yeah. I'm so
Congrats.
excited. Thank you. Our kids are the same age, which is like pretty
Yes.
much the coolest thing ever. I think
It is really
Sasha
cool.
was 3 weeks ahead of
Evita. Yeah.
which is amazing. So it's been very fun. Danny also does really nice check-ins where she'll just text me and she'll be like, just seeing if you're okay.
I
Kind of
feel
all
like
you need at that point. You're like, are you still on the pulse?
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you alive? Cool. I felt like with my first, and I was one of the first of my friends to have a baby, like, we were so lucky that we could check in with each other. But I was like, if I didn't have that, like, no one was checking in with me. And they always, I don't know if you felt this, but they always just asked about the baby.
Well, they always asked about the baby, and I also think things have really, like, generationally shifted because, you know, I mean, I'm almost 40 when I had a baby. Most people, like, historically had a baby when they were 20. So you were 20 years apart from your mom. So your mom could, like, still remember what that is. Like, 40 years is a lot to remember what it's like having a newborn. And so I think that dynamic has also really shifted.
Well, my mom had me at 40 as well.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And I think there's, like, a lot of beauty in being, like, an older mom. And
Oh, you're
there's,
so
like,
much less anxious.
Yeah, I'm sure you are.
You're so much less anxious, I think.
Yeah, and you also know who you are right now.
Of course. And
yeah.
I feel like I have no, you know, I'm always one of those people that I would have been happy if I had kids, if I didn't have kids, but I wasn't, like, dying to have kids, and now I think it's, like, the best thing ever. Obviously, you get bought in pretty fast.
What's your favorite thing right now about being a mom? And then I also want to understand, like, how are you doing everything you're doing and being a mom? Because I think, like, for all of us entrepreneurs that, like, don't really get mat leave and are choosing not to do that, we're, like, looking at people like you and, like, we're like, if Michelle can do it, I can do it.
I do it.
But yeah, what's your favorite part about being a mom right now?
It's just, like, a really magical, like, it's, like, magical to have something grow inside you. I had a really cool doctor deliver Sasha, and at the end, like, her head was out, her shoulders out, and he's like, put your hands out, and I'm like, what? And I, like, put my hands out, and I actually, like, pulled her out of me, which was, like,
Unbelievable.
one of the most mind-blowing, beautiful things ever.
You're so brave, by the way, because my doctor did the same thing with my first.
Yeah.
And I was like, just get her out!
You're like, wait a second, you're the expert in this. I'm not the expert in this.
But I look back and I'm like, I should have done that because that is really so cool.
It's really cool. It literally makes me cry thinking about it.
Oh my God.
And so, I don't know. I think there's just, like, unlimited joy with these kids. Like, you walk into their rooms after they've slept and you're like, hello, no. It's like,
I know.
It's, like, really cool.
I love that you're, like, getting emotional about it because it's just, like, it is
the little giggles, the, like, and look, all of this changes. I've also, like, mentored and had so many people in my life that have to go through all the years of, like, parenthood and these, like, messy teenage years and the messy years where your kids are not doing what you want them to do. And, you know, I don't think this is one of these things where, like, having a child is not like having a puppy. They're not, like, an unlimited love thing. They're an unlimited thing that you have to mentor. And, you know, there's going to be moments where I'm sure you will be very frustrated with them. But anyway, it's great being a mom. I don't have any, like, I'm also 6 months in. I have no perfect formula on how to do that. I think I have an incredibly supportive partner, you know, supportive family. I have a nanny that's been amazing. And then the biggest thing is, like, I want to spend all of my time with Sasha. And so then I just have to be very organized when she does go to bed and when there is time off. And it's kind of like what we did here. It was like, I was like, look, we have one day, I'm off, this is done, let's actually, like, get it done, because your ability to, like, move things. And I think you can get a lot done in business when you're just very clear. Like, this is what we need to achieve, this is what we're looking to do. And so it just helps you just be that much more concise when you have a little bit less time.
Do you feel like you're actually more organized now because you have more on your plate, like, with Sasha, and you're like, I have this, like,
Yeah, I think there's always been this line about if you want something done, ask the busiest person to do it. Like, work expands or contracts given the time you give it. So if you have an hour to draft a contract, it will take you an hour. If you have 4 days, it will take you 4 days. So you just have to jam it in, and you have to be at least one point in your career where you've really, like, you know, produced a lot of content and a lot of work. Content's the wrong word, but like you just got a lot of stuff done. And you kind of know what the limit is. I remember our like limit at Clearco is we believed that there was 4 days in every day. There was a day before 10:30. There was a day before lunch. There was a day before 5, and there was a day before midnight. And if you literally got a week in a day if you iterated fast enough, and if you like made those checkpoints fast enough. And so, yeah, I can't do that because now Sasha's my every 2-hour activity. But I do know that if I have 2 hours uninterrupted, I can really like get a lot of stuff done. And I think there's a really cool like unwritten rule of cadence. And I always knew this with my own employees that had kids, is like I could always call them after 8 because like the kids were in bed and it was really quiet, and they would like literally talk to me until 11. Like they had all this time at night, but I just like, you couldn't call them during like bedtime, bath time. That was like a no because it's like such a big and cute thing to be a part of, right? You want to be there for all those moments.
Yeah.
But you know what? Look, I'm doing this in real time. I have a whole new level of appreciation for women and sisterhood and all of this, because this is a very unique experience that even with the most important partner you do alone. Like, it's your body. It's really, you have to give a lot to the baby. And no matter what kind of support you have, it's just the biology of it.
Yeah, like you really only understand when you become a mom how much is on you.
Oh yeah.
And like, talk to me about I know you had like a journey with breastfeeding.
Yeah.
Like we all do.
Oh my God.
How was that for you?
Oh my gosh. I've done it so far, thank God. It was just, I think, you know, it was, the pregnancy was easier than I thought. The breastfeeding was way harder than I thought. I just didn't appreciate that, you know, this is every 2 to 3 hours. It's like a biological system. Like, there's no like hack for it. There's no like, oh, just sleep 8 hours and you'll be fine. Like, if you sleep 10 hours, you're gonna have a clogged duct and it's gonna be like a real big problem. And so I don't think I was like fully mentally prepared for that. As much as I love technology, a breast pump is not the same as a baby. They just have not, there's nothing close to like everything from the latch to the biofeedback of it to the hormone release of it. And so I'm happy I checked it out. And then you gave me some really good advice, which is like, just make it to 3 months, because it is truly so incredibly painful, or at least it was for me, until you get to 3 months, and then it gets a lot better.
Yeah. And I got that advice from someone else, and I also pushed myself, and both times it was really good after that, but until that time it was excruciating.
And you know what the other like good piece of advice is like, when things get really hard, like no matter in what scenario and what part of your business or your personal life, I just keep buying myself time. I'm like, Michelle, just try for another 2 hours. Just try for another day. Just try for another day. I have gotten in the hardest part of my business career. I remember I just bought myself one more day for 60 days. So it was like every day I wanted to give up, and I was like, I'm going to fight for one more day. I'm going to fight for one more day. And it's exactly like that. It was like a bit of this breastfeeding thing. It's like, this is so hard and so miserable and so painful, and I'm so sick doing this, and I can't seem to like, and then it was like one more day, and then at some point it just like got a lot easier and a lot less painful.
Please tell everyone how you were breastfeeding Sasha at one point.
Oh my gosh.
She told me this earlier today, and I cannot believe this woman. Not everyone has painful breastfeeding.
No, not everyone does. People have also like, there's 5% of women who vomit their entire pregnancy.
Yeah.
And it's like fucking horrible. Like,
horrible.
I had a friend that was 82 pounds. 92 pounds? 92 pounds? 6 months in.
That's
and
crazy.
They couldn't do anything about it. They were like tube feeding her at the hospital. She'd vomit. It was like awful. Like, there's literally like, you have 40 symptoms, choose 5. And like, you have no relation to the 35 you don't have, and the 5 you have, they're so intense. You're like, oh yeah, the heartburn. And like, it's like, everyone knows about it. But there's women that have no heartburn, and you're like, how is that possible? There's an entire baby pressing against your esophagus for 9 months.
It's crazy. Yeah. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, but please go back and share how you were breastfeeding Sasha at one point, because I can't believe, like, the fact that you actually persevered and did it like this. I would have quit after 5 seconds of doing this?
Oh my gosh. So I filmed Dragon's Den 2.5, 3 months postpartum. And
also, how did you do that?
I don't know. It was really hard. My partner was amazing, and he really like showed up to set and really helped, and we had a nanny, and it was amazing. And so I'd literally walk off set, I'd like breastfeed her. If she was sleeping, I'd pump. I would just like do my very best. But then whatever happened, she just like stopped wanting to latch the same way, which is like really heartbreaking, right? Because you're like, oh my God, what's like wrong with me? And so then I like kept reading ChatGPT. I kept saying you can get like babies to relatch. So it's like, fuck it, I'm doing it. Like, I'm figuring this out. I'm using like every trick. I put like a bottle in the breast pack in. Anyway, finally I figured out she would feed if she was lying down on the bed, and I literally like planked over her. And so I basically just breastfed planking for like a solid 4 months. And everyone thought this was like so hilarious. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, getting stronger. I'm like, no, the only way she'll do this. And this is so good for her. I'm like making my best effort. I
did not realize you did that for 4 months.
It's insanity.
I thought that was like a few weeks.
No. It was like a long time. And every time I'd be like, and now let's transition to like, you know, the normal hold. People talk about like, there's like a hold this way, which is like the classic picture. There's like a football hold, which is like their bodies this way. No one talked about the plank hold.
You're going to write the next mummy book being like,
no.
Try the plank hold. You get a workout. You empty your boobs and the babies relax on the ground.
I mean, she loved it. I mean, imagine eating like that normally. You're just like, oh, no.
I feel like she would choke, but I guess that's every way.
No, she literally, that was the only way she'd eat. She liked it right away. She'd fall asleep. And then, occasionally I could start like that, and then I could roll us both to our sides. And I was like, oh, thank God. Thank God I can stop the plank.
I feel like the side lying feed has saved me with this one because she gets so distracted and she will like pull my nipple and rip it off, and I'm like, we just got to be in a bed like.
Yeah, Sasha got teeth really early, so we've had a lot of.
Does she have teeth already?
Oh yeah, she has her bottom 2 and her top 2 teeth.
Holy cow!
She got her bottom 2 teeth like at 3 months or something. Like
she's already a powerhouse.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like the nipping is very real.
Holy crap.
One of my doulas was like, I was like, how's breastfeeding? She's like, well, if you like a turtle chomping on your nipple 20 times a day. And I was like, oh, I'm not ready for this.
Oh my God. I cannot believe that. That's crazy.
Anyway, if you can, you should do it, because it's like one of those things that's just, there's so many benefits for the baby. And
it is.
It's just one of those things where you like fight it out and try and do the right thing.
Yeah. But it's so like tied to entrepreneurship. It's like that.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do another day. I'm just going to get through today. Like that
exactly.
really is
and there should also be like zero shame, and like if you need extra formula, extra like breast milk, all of that's like totally fine. But it's literally one of those things where it's just like just one more day. Because there were so many days that I just wanted to like give up.
And like with Dragon's Den, like you would just make it work in between people pitching, because they're long days.
They're super long days. Like I would get in the makeup chair at like 6:30. My hair and makeup team, hats off to them, is amazing. They can do me really fast now because they work at the same time. And I pump in the morning, and then the baby, I stayed just down the street. So Sasha was brought to set, and then we usually have a break at like 10:30 and then at noon. And whenever I had a break, I could go see her, I'd go feed her. If she was sleeping, I'd pump, and they would feed her that. And then we just made it all work.
You're such a busy person. There's so many things going on.
Mm-hmm.
You're wearing a lot of different hats.
Yeah.
You have a bunch of different businesses. You have lots of entrepreneurs who message you. You're mentoring people. Like there's so much going on. Do you scale back now? Like how do you keep going at the pace that you're going at?
Oh, I mean, nothing will be the same as like if you're operating, a unicorn with hundreds of employees. That's a very different. Like now, I get to wear a lot of different hats. I'm on boards. I've invested in 55 different companies. I'm running a venture fund. Like that's like way more fun, and like you have a little bit more control over your time, because the problem when you are a day-to-day founder is like twice a week something blows up. You have to deal with it, and you have no idea when those blow-ups are going to be. You just think that happens every single week as an operator. And so that's kind of what takes away your time in certain ways. But again, I think that there's like, this is far too prescriptive. You just like make it work. You create a goal in your mind about the things you want to do with your family. You create a goal in your mind of what you want to do with work, and you just like slot it in, and you're really intentional with your time. You don't give a lot of time to time wasters that, you know, are just takers and they're not givers, and then you build really rich relationships. And those help you in times that you can take a step back and in times that you're growing.
So who is Michele Romanow without like your title, without like your accolades? like I feel like you probably go into a lot of things and people talk about all these amazing things that you've done, which are absolutely incredible. But like now let's like peel back the curtain a little and like who's Michele without like all of these like fancy titles? Like who are you?
Oh. Just like a curious, pretty ambitious person. I think that like leaning into curiosity, and it's probably the most fun part about being a mom, because you're like watching a brain develop in real time. Like people who are like, I don't like to like listen to my 2-year-old babble. I'm like, I think this is so like you're watching a live feed of like synapses coming together. Like that's so cool. They're like half daydreaming, they're half understanding part of what's going on, they're half confused. Like, isn't this interesting to you? And so it makes you a really good entrepreneur if you're curious, because you'll realize really quickly that industries develop largely for historical reasons, not for any objective reasons. Like no one took a look at a space and like, if we were to do this right from the beginning, we would do it this way. And so that's why entrepreneurs have so much power, is because they can come in and they can say, well, it should have never been done this way. Or there's this piece of technology that should have, you know, changed this whole industry. And so I think that I would always like foster the curiosity in like myself, kid, your team. You like want them asking. Like some parents are like, why does my kid keep asking why? I'm like, you should be always asking why. Just like always. And you get to the real why the 5th time you've asked why. It takes a long time. And then, you know, you gotta want to change the world that you live in. You gotta be kind of upset and a little bit cranky and a little bit like, this is stupid. And then you can build something cool.
I love that. It's just curiosity at your core.
Yeah.
Are you going to encourage Sasha to take an entrepreneur route? What do you think you're going to do in the future?
Oh God. I haven't thought this far in advance.
We're going there.
We're going there.
The future of your daughter.
I would love if she's like a little, I'm getting like the signs she's already like really brave. Like she's really brave. Like she's like will easily fall and will, like, you know what I mean? We'll try lots of things. So I'm like, maybe she's got a brave personality. It's just not being too excited.
No, you've got good instincts. She's probably a brave child.
You know, I think that there's a real balance here. I think that, you know, I've met a lot of people in my career. And when you have parents that are just like, you should just do whatever you like and whatever your heart desires, those kids often don't end up in like a really great place, because at like 14 or 15 or 16 or 17, when you're making these decisions for the rest of your life, your brain just doesn't like know enough to know what's going to be big. And so then there's the parents who are the exact opposite, who are like, my kid needs to be an engineer. There's no other choices in this world. It's the best. Just do it. Right. And those ones don't turn out very well. The best ones kind of have like some guidance, because what you understand as a parent, and hopefully what we understand as founders, is like where the world is going. Like, I cannot imagine it is going to be a good job to be a lawyer in 20 years from now, because already ChatGPT is doing like 50% of that job.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be very, very difficult to do that job in the same way that it ever was historically. So, like, I can't imagine your 17-year-old will understand that, but you should be able to understand it. So you're like, maybe like go a little bit more this way or a little bit more this way. So, I mean, look, being a founder and being an entrepreneur is an evergreen profession. I would be over the moon if I got to mentor our own daughter.
She'd be pretty lucky.
But you know what? You can't, like, that is way too much pressure. Like, she's got to figure out who she is and what she's good at. And then in 15 years, you know, my partner and I have to figure out what the world is like. And then we have to just maybe make some gentle nudges. And I think that's the only way to think about it, because, you know, we've just grown up with enough kids that we're on these two spectrums, and on either end of the spectrum, it doesn't really end that well for the kid.
I really do feel like we got, as kids, at least I'll speak for myself, but like it was kind of like the world is your oyster, do whatever, and it was actually like not that helpful in certain ways.
Of course, because it's like too broad.
It's too broad.
It's too broad, and our job at like this age is to have seen all of our friends and all of their careers, and they're like, who looks kind of happier than the other ones? Who looks like more stressed? When are you going to cocktail parties with people that are like literally can't get off their phone for a second, and it's been like that for 20 years, versus people that like get to have their weekends and do they like? There's a huge balance in career choices and how much wealth you can create and how much stress you have. That I think it's your job to at least do a little bit of that sorting for your kid. I mean, doctors are not going to be the same either. ChatGPT is a great doctor right now. I know you're not supposed to use it for medical advice, but I mean, it's solved a lot of problems that just people don't have the time or the bandwidth or the ability to put in, 40 years of medical history to get it the right answer.
It is usually pretty good at being like, seek medical advice.
It is actually, no, it's very clear on that, but it's also like, it's given me some like real eye-opening moments for sure.
What is the future looking like with AI right now?
Oh man. I don't know. I think we're in the era, and lots of people disagree with me, of like we've just recreated the smartphone and we're like at Google Maps 1.0. And that's pretty wild. So if you're not using these tools 5 to 10 times a day, you have to be. And you have to like use your brain. You can't like make them do the work for you. You have to be like, does this make sense? What is it good at? What is it not good at? Oh, like fixing my writing, pretty good at that. Like putting, these answers. You also have to be careful because now we're going to like a very like one answer world versus like we used to look at like 10 links. So there's a lot of things with not clear cut answers. You know what I mean? Let's use a stupid example. When should kids start eating food? Is it 4 months? Is it 6 months? Is it 8 months? Is it a year? There's like lots of people with differing views on this. And ChatGPT will give you one answer with one number. And so, but learning how to use these tools, because we could all automate parts of our life and really parts of our business that give us no joy. Like accounting gives no people joy. Doing their books, following up on customer service emails. All of this should be automated and actually can be done very well with AI. And I mean, I think about this all the time. If I was to like build an e-commerce company like now in 2025 from scratch, it would look totally and completely different to even building a company 5 years ago. You would be using AI tools to do your Photoshops. You would be using AI tools to make hundreds of thousands of ad sets and not just one. You would do things so different. I mean, SEO,
I'm taking notes.
SEO has changed forever,
sure.
Right? Because like no one's looking at Google. They're looking at the one Gemini answer. And so optimizing to get in that answer, that's a pretty big deal. So I think that you have to be like playing with the tools because that makes you good. And then you have to see, and then it's going to be really crazy because it's going to be hard to be a company in that space, because what used to be a barrier to entry was actually building the technology itself. So like, I mean, think about it. You build pets.com, it cost them $1 million to just build the website and the payment processing. It was like really hard. And then it got like a little bit easier with Shopify. And now you have a company like Lovable that can completely duplicate the entire DocuSign password in an afternoon. That's building like a $1 billion code base. And so now when people have a good idea and things are working, the barriers to copy them are just so low. And so there's going to be a real war. So a lot of people have very different theses about this. The first one is like there will be people that own very large LLMs that will do well. There's also a thesis that like how do we just invest in companies that are building the AI first version of above. So imagine building the first AI dental clinic and then having like 100 of them. Well, they would have no receptionist. They'd have no this. They'd have, the digital ability to read teeth. They'd have a totally different document management system, totally way of different communicating. So there's a lot of people that are like, let's just take industries and do it with AI. So everyone has a different thesis on how this will play out. And I don't think it's really about being right or wrong. I think it's about just trying things. And, you guys are, 4 years into your journey?
Yeah, 3 years.
Like, you're still early enough that you can, use and transform. Like, there's not so much that's ingrained in your business that you can't be like, oh, yeah, of course I'll do this going forward.
It's like an exciting and scary... It's like an exciting and scary time because it's so unknown and it's changing the entire world.
I know, it's pretty wild.
It's pretty cool, and I think we have to look at it from a lens of like, this is exciting, this is good.
And there will be downsides with every piece of technology. like every single time, but I don't like this. Like, we never get to put the genie back in the bottle. We never get to be like, and let's go back to fax machines because email sucks. Like, yes, it's very obvious that email sucks. No one is going to send you a fax, except for the Canadian medical system. They will send you a fax. But you can't go backwards. You have to like figure out how to use it and figure out how to use it within limits, right?
Yeah.
Like kids and screens. Yeah, it's not really good for them. Are you going to like prevent them from seeing a screen their whole life? You certainly are not. So like,
exactly.
Figure out how to use this within reason. Social media, not good for you. Do you need it? Absolutely. So like, just put it. It's like eating. You know, you got to eat. You can't just starve. You got to kind of eat the right things and not too much.
It's a good way to just break it down.
You're trying to, right?
Breaking it down.
Well, people just like to think in black and whites because that's a lot easier than thinking in nuance. That's like a metaphor for everything.
Say that again.
Well, they like to think in black and white because that's easier to process than nuance. Nuance is harder in every way. Requires way more thought, requires way more control, requires like a lot of things, and all of the big issues we're going to be faced are largely ones that have to be done with nuance and not black and white.
Do you think we're losing the ability to be critical thinkers?
Oh, absolutely. This is a very real risk. I mean, I watch how easy it is for ChatGPT to do something that used to take me like a lot of hours to get right. And you will never replace a human soul and a connection and like the story and the reason you guys started the business. Like that won't happen. But I don't know how this is going to shape out with kids. I actually think we're going to have to like lock kids into like schoolrooms and give them like pencils and papers again. And they're just going to have to like write with the brain because the tools are going to be so good. And you, at the end of the day, have to teach the tools something. So we can't lose our brains entirely. But I also think, again, so many of these things are like always doomsday. Like I always want to bring people back to even, I don't know, what was it, 6 or 7 years ago, AI starting and everyone is so worried about driverless cars and trucks. Everyone. They're like, there are more truck drivers in the U.S. than any other profession. They're all going to go out of business. We're going to have a gluttony of people. This is going to be so bad. And it could be, right? That's a very large, likely disenfranchised group of people that are no longer making $80,000 to $100,000 a year. And who is IRA replaced? Literally just white-collar workers right now. Like, I mean, it's the great lawyers, consultants, writers, like creatives. Like, it's all of that, which is not what anyone expected. So these tools always play out a lot differently than we think. And the worst case scenario is way different. I actually saw some of the data on Waymo, and it is obviously better for us to use computers driving us than humans that are distracted, that are reading their phones, that are and. But anyway, that's what I think about it.
I saw the driverless cars in San Francisco when Victoria and I were there.
Yeah, the Waymos, yeah.
Yeah, they're
amazing.
So cool.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
So what happens to Maven Shea and companies like ours with AI?
Oh, do you see my beautiful names? There we go. What's this one called again?
The Frida.
The Frida. The Frida is so cute. The little tassel.
Yeah.
Never met a tassel I didn't like.
What happens to product-based businesses?
Well, you still, look, brand will always be competitive because people will want the brand of something that they put the time and the quality and thought and the story into building what you guys built. You guys are clearly like building a new category and an important innovation. I mean, we're all literally, now that people are often working from home, like really comfortable shoes is important. And then you're going to have to figure out all the like incredible ways that AI can and should transform your business. And so finding customers should be cheaper and better. Finding ways for people to talk about you where you show up in AI-based search results. Like people are going to ask like, oh, I have this pain in my foot. What should I be doing? And like, if you're showing up in there, that's like a whole new level of ability to like get and acquire customers from like a really knowledgeable source. You have to change the way you do photo shoots. You have to change the way you do a lot of things. And think about that, it's exciting and a journey versus like terrifying, right?
You probably get asked at the end of like every podcast you do, like, what's the best advice you're going to leave with someone? So I'm not going to ask you that question. But I will ask you, what is the advice you're going to give Sasha We're talking 20 years down the road. We don't have a crystal ball of what things are going to really be like then.
Yeah.
But like, what do you tell your daughter on like, I know it's like thinking about it is like really emotional.
Yeah.
And also like we're postpartum and like, I don't know about you, but I like, I'm always crying.
Yeah, it's really I can really do without this hormonal up and down thing. Really
it's a lot. It's a lot. Okay, but we're talking to your daughter. I have two daughters, and I can't even get asked this question because I'll just like literally be a puddle on the floor. So I'll do it for you.
Great, thanks.
What do you
real friendship there. So you do it.
So you do it. What do you tell Sasha like about life and the world and how she's gonna go into the world as an adult?
I think one of the most important things, and we both have girls, so I think this is like a really important part, but there's like a huge amount of like bravery we need to teach women. And I think girls are born with a lot of courageousness that's actually pulled out of them over time. And we are just really cautious with women. And some of that is warranted in some cases. Like there are places you shouldn't be walking around at night, I get that. And we're 20% smaller than males, I get that. But there's also part of this that like, you know, when kids play on the playground, like the little boys are falling all the time and they're, you know, getting cuts and scrapes and we're like, yeah, keep going. And then we're like, with girls, we're like, be careful. And I think one of my things that I really want to encourage her is to always like think courageously and bold and keep that like that like smart risk-taking appetite in her. So I think that's one of the things. And then the second thing is this piece around like nuance and critical thinking. Like very few things in this world are truly black and white. Like always aim to understand both sides and then make the best decision you can. And it's going to become more and more important. I think we've seen a world where it's been really, even in the media, it's been really hard to like suss out what's actually happening in a lot of situations. And as much as we have like great tools with us, like critical thinking will be more important than ever, and it will ultimately like build you a great life. And if she wants to be a founder, it'll make her a great founder.
You're amazing. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. It's so good to be here.
You're amazing. Michele Romanow.
Thank you.
Love today's episode? Hit subscribe and share it with a friend who'll love it too. For more jam-packed episodes and to connect with me, head to DannyKagan.com. And hey, the best way to support the show? Leave a 5-star review for me so we can help more people like you raise it up.